Hare Krishna dear devotees, my humble obeisances to you all. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj's daily class. Today we are continuing with our Srimad Bhagavatam series of second canto, first chapter, verse number 14. Hare Krishna Maharaj, my humble obeisances to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please take over, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Navadyatarhi Kauravya Saptaham Jivitadvadahi Upakaupaya Tatsarvam Tavadyat Sampara Yikam. Translation: Maharaj Parikshit, now your duration of life is limited to 7 days more. So during this period, you can perform all those rituals which are needed for the best purpose of your next life. Purport: Sukadeva Goswami, after citing the example of Maharaj Katvanga, prepared himself for the next life within a very short time, encouraged Maharaj Parikshit by saying that since he still had 7 days at his disposal, he could easily take advantage of the time to prepare himself for the next life. Indirectly, the Goswami told Maharaj Parikshit that he should take shelter of the sound representation of the Lord for the 7 days still remaining in the duration of his life, and thus get himself liberated. In other words, everyone can best prepare himself for the next life simply by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. It was recited by Sukadeva Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. The rituals are not formal, but there are also some favorable conditions which are required to be carried out as instructed hereafter. Next verse. Ante kala tu purusham agate gala sadvasaham chidyad asanga sastrena spriha dehi nuyeyatam. At the last stage of one's life, one should be bold enough not to be afraid of death. One must cut off all attachments to the material body and everything pertaining to it and all desires thereof. Purport: the foolishness of gross materialism is that people think of making a permanent settlement in this world, although it is a settled fact that one has to give up everything here that has been created by valuable human energy. Great statesmen, scientists, philosophers, etc., who are foolish without an information of the spirit soul, think that this life of a few hours only is all in all, and there is nothing more after death. This poor fund of knowledge, even in the so-called learned circles of the world, is killing the vitality of human energy, and the awful result is being keenly felt. Yet the foolish materialistic men do not care about what is going to happen in the next life. The preliminary instructions in the Bhagavad Gita is that one should know that the identity of the individual living entity is not lost even at the end of the present body, which is nothing but an outward dress only. As one changes an old garment, so the living entity being also changes his body, and the change of body is called death. Death is therefore the process of changing the body at the end of the duration of the present life. An intelligent person must be prepared for this and must try to have the best type of body in the next life. The best type of body is a spiritual body, which is obtained by those who go back to the kingdom of God or unto the realm of Brahman. In the second chapter of this canto, this matter will be broadly discussed But as far as the change of body is concerned, one must prepare now for the next life. Foolish people attach more importance to the present temporary life, and thus the foolish leaders make appeals to the body and the bodily relations. The bodily relations extend not only to this body, but also to the family members, wife, children, society, country, and so many other things which end at the end of life. After death, one forgets everything about the present bodily relations. We have a little experience of this at night when we go to sleep. While sleeping, we forget everything about this bodily and bodily relationships. Although this forgetfulness is a temporary situation for only a few hours, death is nothing but sleeping for a few months in order to develop another term of bodily engagement, which we are awarded by the law of nature according to our aspiration. Therefore, one has only to change the aspiration during the course of his present body, and for this there is need of training in the current duration of human life. This training can be begun at any stage of life or even a few seconds before death. But the usual procedure is for one to get the training from very early life, from the stage of brahmachari, and gradually progress to grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas orders of life. The institution which gives such training is called Varnashrama Dharma, or the system of Sanatana Dharma, the best procedure for making human life perfect. One is therefore required to give up the attachment to family or social or political life just at the age of 50 years, if not earlier, and the training in the Vanaprastha and Sannyasrama is given for preparation for the next life. Foolish materialists in the garb of leaders of the people in general stick to family affairs without attempting to cut off relationship with them. And thus they become victims of nature's law and get gross bodies again according to their work. Such foolish leaders may have some respect from the people at the end of life, but that doesn't mean that such leaders will be immune to the natural laws under which everyone is tightly bound by hands and feet. The best thing, therefore, that everyone voluntarily give up family relations by transferring the attachment from family, society, country, and everything thereof to the devotional service of the Lord. It is stated herein that one should give up all desires for family attachment. One must have a chance for better desires, otherwise there is no chance of giving up such morbid desires. Desire is the concomitant factor of the living entity. The living entity is eternal, and therefore his desires, which are natural for the living being, are also eternal. One cannot, therefore, stop desiring, but the subject matter for desires can be changed. So one must develop the desire for returning home back to Godhead, and automatically desires for material gain, material honor, material popularity will diminish in proportion to the development of devotional service. A living being is meant for service activities, and his desires are centered around such a service attitude. Beginning from the top executive of the state down to the insignificant pauper in the street, all are rendering some sort of service to others. Perfection of such a service attitude is only attained simply by transferring the desire of service from matter to spirit, or from Satan to God. Om Gyan Timidandasya Ganajana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Shri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Pastyatya Desatarine Panchakalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So sometimes this world is called a foolish paradise or a paradise for fools. Because generally, no one knows who they are, no one knows where they're going, and no one knows what is actually the purpose of life. And some people are just busy. Animals are also busy, but they're only busy in order to maintain their body. So materialists are also doing that, but they also add maintaining country, society, family to their busyness. So they go on thinking that the success in life is to have nice family relationships, good children, um, some position within society, some good health. Everyone is working on these things. You can see the advertisements nowadays, especially nowadays, everyone's talking about health. Even the so-called progressive people in life are also now thinking how to get beyond all of the difficulties that health has posed within the last 2 or 3 decades, where diseases have increased quite readily. Now it's like hepatitis now is another increasing disease. What is it? Diabetes. They say 50% of the population has diabetes. And people have more severe diseases now. Cancer is on the rise. Myocarditis, carditis, blood clots, heart attacks, so many things. And so everybody is thinking how to either prevent disease or get cured from the disease. And they're looking into different alternative types of medicines because their present situation with the allopathic doctors are not working. They're not able to cure the diseases or give any permanent remedies, although they give some temporary benefit. So everybody's busy now. They used to be busy working hard and getting things. Now people are busy trying to maintain their life because diseases are just so prominent now. People are, succumbing to all of these diseases, and there's always a new disease popping up from some country somewhere in Africa or somewhere else. And of course, AIDS is still there. I mean, there's so many. Hospitals can't even keep up with the amount of patients that come. And people are just struggling somehow just to keep this body going. What to speak of achieving things by way of working hard. There's a large class of people who are doing that also. So material life is just putting patchwork on a very inordinate situation. It's like trying to be happy in jail. You might think, well, since being in jail there's some options you can explore while you're in jail. You can practice becoming a very good, obedient inmate within the jail, and due course of time you get certain privileges because of that. Or you might also think about how to do something in jail that will keep your mind busy so you're not thinking about the jail. So this material life is like that. It's a big jail because no one can stay here and no one can actually find real happiness here. So it's like a jail. Sometimes we say we're locked up. People in this world are locked up in two jails, the jail of the material body and the jail of the material world. Of course, those who are in prisons, iron prisons, they have three forms of jail. So why is everything so arranged in such a way is that you can't stay here and you can't really find ultimate happiness here? It's designed in that way by the Supreme Lord himself. So people don't want to, so people will be inspired to get at, to look in another direction for happiness and fulfillment in life instead of wasting time trying to improve a material position which is not improvable. It says, what is that verse? Tasyai pradito na kovito na labyate tad brahmata uparyada tad labyate tad dukana anvasukam kalena sarvatra gambira ramhasa. The verse is divided into two meanings. One, it says, from the highest planet to the material world down to the lowest. Everything is temporary. And the second part is that one thinks that by rearranging my material life, I can increase my happiness and decrease my misery. This is also not possible. One is under the influence of the three modes of material nature, and one takes birth according to one's previous activities and previous lives. And one is accumulating more types of results of material activities in the present life. So no one can increase their happiness, no one can decrease their misery simply by adjusting the material energy. Because everything is destined. So a person might think, well, yes, I'm in this situation. If I go to this situation, I'll also be better off. No, you may somehow or other divert away the type of suffering that you're meant to get in your present situation. But by going into a different situation, you'll get that same amount of suffering, most probably in a different way. You're in a cold climate, so you think, let me go to a warm climate. I'll avoid the misery of cold. So you do that, but then you get some disease, you fall off your bicycle and break your leg, or you get a cramp while swimming and you drown or something. So you can't somehow or other increase your happiness or decrease your misery unless you come to Krishna consciousness. The one who comes to Krishna conscious, then by performing spiritual activities, automatically one's result and action of material activities are being destroyed. That means one's karma in the past is being wiped away. And as one continues in devotional service, one comes to the point of no more material karma left. All of one's past activities, both good and bad, or pious or impious, are wiped away by the power of one's devotion to the Supreme Lord. That is called akarma. There's three kinds of karma. There's vikarma, there's karma, and there's akarma. Karma means, the word karma actually, by definition, means religious benefits. In other words, pious activities or good works. Karma means good works. Vikarma means inauspicious or sinful activities. And akarma means that activity that produces no good or bad result. That is devotional service. So as one engages in devotional service, they're not building any karma, but they're at the same time decreasing their previous karma. And at one point, their previous karma will come to a stop, and they'll be situated in getting whatever results they get in life will be given to them by Krishna through the spiritual process. And that will be the results of their activities, which means these activities elevate one closer and closer. They become progressive values that bring one closer to one's position in relationship to Krishna, eternal loving service. But here, this purport gives a very continuous point, the difference between material life and spiritual life, and very much emphasizing that the body is not the self, it's simply a dress. And when Arjuna didn't want to fight because he didn't want to kill his relatives, friends, and others, Krishna called him a fool. Why? Because he was lamenting for something that was not lamentable. Krishna wanted to fight. Therefore, for Arjuna to follow Krishna's order was the success of his life. But because he questioned and eventually came to the point of complete confusion, at one point he just dropped his bow after explaining why he wasn't going to fight. His mind was overwhelmed with lamentation, and he was completely bewildered. He couldn't even think clearly. Krishna says, now you're ready to hear. And that's we, just like us, we have all of our arguments why our material life should go the way we want it to go, or it's more important than our spiritual life. Krishna is not listening to us. He's kind of listening. He's waiting for us to wake up and understand that actually life means connection with the Supreme Lord in devotion. And the success of that is to, again, enter back into the real world. The real world is not temporary. The real world is not full of misery. The real world is our relationship with Krishna in pure knowledge and unlimited happiness. Everyone's trying for that here. The fact that people try for happiness and knowledge here is an indication that it has value. It's real. But people look for it in the wrong way and in the wrong place. It exists. Eternal happiness exists. Eternal knowledge or pure knowledge exists. And eternal life also exists. I was just reflecting on what Prabhupada was saying this morning in one lecture. He was saying, he was making the point that we are eternal. And then I was thinking, wow, how much can we remember about our eternal relationship? We can't remember anything, but we've been in so many bodies, so many families, so many situations, maybe so many countries. Sometimes you see people can remember something of their past life in the present life they're in. Just like in dreams, sometimes certain experiences of past life come out. Or when people have what we say, a very, what is it called? Traumatic experience in the present life, something from the past also comes to the forefront. Because it's there within the subconscious as the mind keeps or stores all of our experiences for every life that we've been in. And so whatever life we've been in, we have complete forgetfulness of it. There was an experiment done by the British Broadcasting Television, the BBT, where they put a lady into hypnosis on the media, and then as they were taking her through the hypnosis, she had a very horrifying experience, and then they had to stop the experiment. she started to speak in Dutch. Although she was English, she started to speak in Dutch, but in a very horrific way. In other words, in a very fearful way. Later on, it was understood that she was experiencing a death in her previous life. So when you go back into the unconscious mind, all of our previous experiences are already there, stored in the unconscious. Sometimes they come to the surface. So these material indications help us to understand the spiritual principle. Yes, we are not this body. We are something other than this body. And the scriptures say that you are eternally related to Krishna. Krishna expands himself into himself in order to enjoy relationship. Prabhupada was talking this morning and he was saying, I'm sitting here alone in the room and I'm not finding so much happiness. But if some friend comes or someone I know comes, then all of a sudden it becomes more happy being with someone else, exchanging with someone else. He said Krishna was like that. Krishna thought, there's just me. So I want to expand myself into myself in order to enjoy relationships with myself, but in an individual way. So Krishna expands himself into the jiva souls who are individuals, that's us, in order to experience loving relationships with the individuals. So even Krishna says he can't be happy alone, or he can't find complete happiness alone. Happiness is taken to a higher level of experience when there is two, at least two. But then there's an exchange that is called love. Sometimes it's simply called business. But in any case, there's interaction. When there's interaction, there is more satisfaction than being alone. Prabhupada was making this clear point, how Krishna does that in order to experience himself in the form of the living entities who are non-different than he is, but are simply particles of his spiritual existence. But they also, that's us, we also have each of these particles, who we are, spiritual being, has a mind, has an intelligence, has a form, has senses, has emotions, everything is there within that same particle, because the same energies that Krishna is, he expands into those particles also. So we're like little samples of him. It's interesting. The soul is like a little sample of God. Well, although we have a distinct identity, because we are individual. Mamai Vamso Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Mamai Vamsa Jiva. Sanatana means eternally we are individual living beings who are part of the supreme eternal. But we have our individual identities. But still, the soul cannot find happiness simply in the material realm, because the soul is not material. It's like you take a fish and you put him on the water, out of the water, and you put him on the land. You give him a nice house, maybe a car, some, fish food or something. He can't be happy because he's out of his environment. So the soul can never find real happiness in this world because we are out of our environment, which is the spiritual realm. So until we go back there, we'll have to continue to take bodies life after life. What is that verse? Karanam guna sango so sarasa joni jammasu, life after life in different positions. Ain sad, no, that's not it. What is it? Maya Lavase, Kacho Bese, Kacho Ha Bubu Dubai, Jeev Krishna Das, Hey Vishwan. So this verse by Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that the living entity is moving, just like there is waves in the ocean, and there's straw floating on the ocean. So as the waves come together, they push the straws together, and then there is some connection between the straws, and then when the waves move again, the connection is broken. So as the waves of material energy, the three modes of material energy, push us together with friends, family, and others, and then that lasts for a brief period of time, and then the wave of time comes again and pushes us outside of that relationship to connect with something else in another relationship. So this is how the material world works. You know, nothing is permanent and nothing is completely fulfilling. So for those who, it says here, Prabhupada makes the point, those who are intelligent will not put any time, energy, and effort in trying to make a nice arrangement in this material world. Because even if you do, at least to a certain level of satisfaction, the time element will come and take it away. As you build a sandcastle on the shore, the wave of the river, ocean will come and wash it away. So therefore, Krishna consciousness means to look towards the future and not simply be absorbed in the temporary present activities for some kind of satisfaction. So devotees always keep their mind on the goal, at the same time take care of their responsibilities in this world, but they do the responsibilities as a person takes care of their body, just like we have to eat, so we eat because it's needed. We have to respond to nature. We do it because it's needed. We have to take some kind of, medicine in order to keep healthy. We do it because it's part of staying healthy. So, but these things are not the source of happiness. They're just maintaining some existence, temporary existence in this world. Just like you put gas in the car, you fix it up, you tune it up, you bring it to the garage, you get it all fixed up, and then you drive it. But after so many years, you get rid of the car because it doesn't run right anymore, or it actually becomes useless, or you want a new one. So we put a lot of time and energy in doing things, but we should understand that whatever efforts we put in this material world is also only temporary. But when you feed your eternal bank account, when you engage in devotional service, you're building your relationship with Krishna, and you're moving progressively towards the real values of life, which is spiritual activities or activities in relationship with Krishna, which are based on serving the Lord in a loving way. So that loving service, actually, when it reaches higher and higher realms, one actually has a reciprocation with the Lord, not only as a subordinate, but as an equal or even as a superior. These are the moods that one can attain if they go back to the spiritual world in the mood of Vrindavan Dham, Goloka Vrindavan, which is a place in the spiritual world where Krishna performs his pastimes with his eternal associates. And there's plenty of room for more people to come on board. It's not a limited sphere. It's not like all the houses are taken up and there's no vacancy. It's open, but one has to qualify to receive such place in the spiritual world. And that way, one has to focus on devotional service. And as mentioned in this section here, hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. Sukadev Goswami is getting Maharaj Parikshit ready for what he needs to hear, and that is the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, which are the pure sound vibration of the pastimes of the Lord leading up to his supreme pastimes in Goloka Vrindavan in a more intimate and loving way with his relationships. Why has all this been given in scripture? Just to attract us to these activities and bring us, our consciousness, back to this place. But it's not a matter of what sometimes people think, yeah, I understand everything you're saying, but I'm still young yet. I got a life in front of me. I got so many plans. Perhaps after I fulfill all my plans, and when I get a little older, then I'll become, connected to spiritual activities more. But that's risky. That's very risky because, as we say, the diseases in this world are increasing, and the situation in the world is becoming more and more dangerous as time goes on, and death becomes more and more a feature of everyone's concern now because the way we live is very dangerous. We can be simply walking down the street and all of a sudden we slip and that's the end. We could fall out of bed and that would be the last thing we do. There's so many ways you can die now, and we've increased the amount of ways that death can come by our modern development. We got so much pollutions in forms of air pollution, food pollution, water pollution, mind pollution. it's unlimited. Now, as I was mentioning earlier, people are just trying to push back all of the pollutions that are being thrown upon them as a daily feature of their life. So yeah, so death has now become more and more a feature of people's concern because it's everywhere now. Well, it's always been there, but at least maybe a couple hundred years ago, it wasn't so much a concern because people's lifestyle were more natural and living in relationship to nature. We live against nature right now. And I was just walking the other day. We have a beautiful forest where I am, and there's a nice river also that runs parallel to the forest, and it's a great place for walking. And it's quiet. Sometimes you see a few people. There's ducks, there's swans in the river. It's really nice. It's a great place for chanting japa in the morning. And I was looking and just seeing how nature is so nicely aligned with itself that there is a sense of peace in nature that is so orderly and so satisfying. You can see that nature is so natural, so peaceful. And then I was thinking, but the human being is working outside of nature or creates a situation which interferes with the natural arrangements given by God for one's existence, and therefore there are so many calamities in life. It's interesting. All of God's creation works according to his, but the humans have independence, and so they misuse their independence and spoil nature, and therefore there is more and more problems in the world, even on the material level. Okay, so here, this particular verse is nice. That one should not worry about the change of body, which is called death, because it's natural. It will come in due course of time. And one should simply plan to get out of this material world and go back home, back to Godhead. And that's the intelligent way to live life. To think how to get back to the spiritual world through devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Such a wonderful class. A lot of points to think about, and as you said, we are risking our lives, being trying to be happy in this material world. So yeah, thank you so much for reminding us all about that. So I
Struggle. It's just struggling. That's all it is.
yes, Maharaj, that's true. So I see two raised hands already. Trudy Mataji, Tripti Mataji, please go ahead. Devotees, please turn on your cameras if possible. Thank you.
We have 36 people online today, pretty good. So
Yes, Maharaj.
let's see 36 smiling faces.
Okay, I think Mataji by mistake. Shilpesh Prabhu, please go ahead.
Okay, increasing. Rasa Vilasini, come on, you can do it.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, my obeisances to you, my obeisances to all Vaishnavas. I spoke to Shama Devi, as you said, and I took the notes from her, and a couple of things that I was not doing wrong, but was doing different, that she has pointed it out to me that to do, and she given me all the written instructions as well. So I'll be following that. So that's all I wanted to say to you today. And thank you very much for your advice. And it's always eye-opening whenever we hear your class. There's always something new we learn, and we correct our mistakes. And thank you, Hare Krishna Maharaj. My obeisances to you.
Thank you. Good. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Shilpesh Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So Maharaj, have I understood correctly in saying that the way Krishna has designed this world and ourselves, that if we live in accordance to nature's rules, we can inherently be healthy?
Yeah. 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 We live, unless your karma from previous life is causing you some distress, which may result in some unhealthy situation. But unless that, but if that karma is not there, and sometimes you can overcome that also. Yeah, we eat at inordinate times. We eat when we don't follow any regulations. We don't sleep normally. We're out working. We take jobs or occupations that cause us to become more stressful. Stress is one of the biggest causes of other diseases. Stress is a disease itself, but it comes in a form of other breaking the body down in other diseases also. Yeah, but health is not, that's not the goal of life, is that health. But it's important to take care of your health so you can practice the goal of life without any disturbances. If you're unhealthy, it's hard to really practice Krishna conscious because your attention's diverted, and at the same time you may have to struggle because of ill health. So yeah, so Prabhupada emphasized that devotees take care of their health. Eat simply. Don't eat too much, don't eat too little. Eat simply. We don't eat simply, we eat according to the taste of our tongue, and therefore we suffer.
And how do we overcome karma if that's affecting our well-being?
By devotional service. As you engage in devotional service, you destroy the results of your previous karma. That was mentioned. That's also there. Because Krishna will, in order for you to practice devotional service, he gives you that mercy that your resultant action of previous karma is being destroyed or reduced so you can focus on Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, if you had to get the results of all of your karma and still practice Krishna consciousness, you probably wouldn't be able to focus. So that comes when you take initiation from the spiritual master. He takes a large part of your karma on the first initiation, and the second initiation, the remaining part of your karma. But you're also reducing it simply by your efforts in devotional service.
And Krishna sees that and he reciprocates the harder we endeavor.
Yeah, he's always reciprocating. He says, "Yeyatam mam prapadyante tam stataiva bhayamyaham." As you approach me, I reward you accordingly. He says that. How you approach the Lord is how he reciprocates. You engage in devotional service, then not only do you reduce the effects of your karma, but you also awaken your relationship with Krishna, which is characteristic of knowledge and happiness. These are characteristics of our relationship with Krishna. As it expands, as that relationship develops, knowledge develops more, happiness becomes more, freedom from anxiety is gone. All of this comes by way of devotional service. The problem is we're still plugged into the material energy, and we expect that we can control it, but we can't control it. This Krishna calls this material energy Daivi. Daivi means spiritual. He says these three modes of material nature are very difficult to overcome. You can't control or overcome this material energy. It's powerful. It's Krishna's external energy, but it works according to fulfilling the desires of the living entity according to the activities and desires that the living entity has. But then there's always what we say, the kleshas, the three kleshas, Adhyatmika, Adhibhautika, Adhidaivika. Miseries of the body and mind, miseries of all other living beings, and miseries of higher powers. They come automatically simply by having a material body and living in the material world. That you can't. All you can do is tolerate those things. Krishna says, Martas Barsas tu kunteya sitnosa sukadukada. He says, just tolerate it. That's all. Can't stop it. We make, just like in the wintertime, we get nice big heaters and big clothes, big coats, so we can keep warm. In the summertime, we get fans and air conditions and other things. So we're trying to somehow or other counteract the miseries that come by higher arrangement, miseries that come by living entities. Others, you can't stop that. Somebody will give you trouble. Government will give you trouble. Your doctor will give you trouble. Your wife will give you trouble. Your husband will give you trouble. Your kids give you double trouble. Then you have your body and mind. That's always giving us trouble. One day you get out of bed and you can't move your leg. You wonder what happened. This material world. You want me to list all the miseries? We'll stay here for the next, 2 millenniums talking about the miseries of this material world. I think everyone has enough sufficient knowledge to know that this is what the material world is made of.
We chose a very bad bargain, Maharaj, coming here.
Yeah, Prabhupada said, he said, but make the best use of a bad bargain. He talks about that bad bargain. Make the best use. The bad bargain is to have a material body, and the best use is to use the material body in the service of the Lord. That's all. And mind.
Thank you, Maharaj. I feel happier now.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Krishna
Okay.
Kaviraj.
KK.
Krishna Kaviraj.
Thank you. Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, we hear so much about who we are, our true identity. And we hear so many commentaries and explanations and realizations, but it still keeps sitting there as theoretical knowledge. So, Maharaj, how can we kill this false ego? How can we kill this misidentification that we have?
Yeah. The Shastras give us guidelines by which we can develop the proper mindset to understand how things are working in such a way that we don't fortify or feed our false ego. That's, that's knowledge that comes from scripture. So that knowledge is, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, transcendental knowledge is like a sword which cuts through the illusion of the material existence. So we have that knowledge is available through Guru, through Krishna, through Sadhu, Shastra. It's all there. Learn the knowledge and apply the knowledge in a practical way in your life.
Okay, thank you, Maharaj. Just keep going. Keep
But,
hearing.
Yeah, just like we have this material body, and we have our own plans on how we're going to enjoy with this material body. Give up those plans and just live more simply. Simple living is conducive to spiritual development. Gorgeous living is not. You can do it in any living condition, but simple living is there mentioned as the feature by which one can find enough time, energy, and direction for practicing spiritual life. One of our problems is we're too busy in material life. That's all. That's the biggest problem.
Thank you, Maharaj. Balakrishna Prabhu.
If you're a doctor, become a doctor and treat devotees. Open up your profession and just say that any devotee who has any sickness can come to me and I'll treat them for free. So you're using your profession now in a service way. If you're a dentist, do the same thing. Whatever profession you have, use it to spread Krishna consciousness instead of using it to increase your arrangements in this material world.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you.
Balakrishna Prabhu, please go.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hey,
Please, please accept my humble obeisances to Srila Prabhupada and obeisances to all the gathered devotees here and everywhere. Maharaj, first of all, I'm very happy that not all the slots are taken with Krishna to have Leelas with Krishna. You said today that all the slots are not taken. There are unlimited slots. So that is very helpful.
But your place is already there in the spiritual world. You just have to get there.
Oh my God, that is amazing. That is amazing. So there is something you said, Maharaj, a few classes ago. You said that Maya Devi is like a Google ad and she's serving up what you're already consuming. She gives you more and more of that to keep you away from Krishna. And that kind of got me thinking. So one of the goals, our goals is also to become Goswamis. I was talking to a devotee, and we mentioned how easily Maya defeats us with even just one sense. You know, she doesn't need all five senses. She can defeat us with just one sense. And I'm thinking, projecting a devotee's path, if they become a Goswami, then there is also gunas, right? Maharaj, how does that feed into it? Can you be a Goswami and be angry? Will that defeat you? That is my question, Maharaj.
One Goswami means, Go means senses. Swami means controller. One who controls the senses. That's a Goswami. It's not a title from some particular Gotra. It's one who controls the senses. They can control anger. They can control the desire for any form of sense gratification that comes by way of any of the senses. So they're in control. They're not being in control. They're in control. They're in control by the power of their devotion to Krishna. They work underneath the guidance of superior energy, and therefore the material energy doesn't affect them. But of course, living in the material world, one can make a mistake, and that happens even with a great soul like a Goswami. But that's not the tendency. The tendency is that they're free from the effects of the negativities that come by way of the senses. Yeah, so just like the first, you were there for the
Nectar of instruction.
Yeah, what was the first verse?
Control your a devotee, a good devotee. I don't remember the verse, but it says a good devotee is somebody who controls speaking, the stomach, the genitals, something like that.
Yeah. What is it? What is that verse? What's the first word in the verse? Vacho Vegam, Manaso Kroda Vegam, Upasta Vegam. Yeah, these are the different Vegam. Vegam means pushing.
Pushing, okay.
Yeah, urge. Maybe that's a word. Urge or pushing. The urge to speak, the urge to taste, the mind's demands, the urge of anger, the urge of the belly, and the urge of the genitals. There's 6 urges that are mentioned. One who can control these 6 urges is a Goswami. You can refresh yourself by reading that verse in Srila Prabhupada's purport. Yeah. So we hope you make it to Goswami.
Oh, yes. Right now I can be defeated by a single samosa. Maharaj, I will get there.
If you eat only one samosa, you're okay. But if you eat 10, then you're defeated.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Thank you.
Look forward to my next trip to Detroit.
Yes, we look forward so much, Maharaj, to it. Yes. Thank you.
Sridevi Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Srimati. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, as you were speaking about keeping the goal of human life foremost, as well as the higher stages of bhakti, I was thinking that here we are struggling with our anarthas, struggling just to get fixed in our devotional service. And those exalted stages of bhakti where we are following one of the residents of Vrindavan, we are equal with the Lord or superior to them. Those are very exalted stages of bhakti. So for us to, as Srila Prabhupada said, finish up your business in this lifetime, are we meant to reach those very high stages of bhakti before we go back to Godhead, or we are not qualified until we reach those stages? And if so, how can we get from here to there in one lifetime?
Well, what is the higher stages? The higher stages is actually the goal. If you haven't reached the goal, then you still have a ways to go. What is the goal? Prema Pumarta Mahan. Well, to awaken our natural love for Krishna in the form of devotion to Krishna. So yeah, that is the goal. And you can't get back to the spiritual world unless you've developed love for Krishna. It's not possible. And how to do that is the process of bhakti. The 9 stages of bhakti take you through the different levels, moving up towards the ultimate goal, which is prema. So see where you are, what stage you are, and what stage you need to move to, the next stage, obviously.
Can stages overlap, Guru Maharaj?
Hmm?
Can
Hmm?
the stages overlap that you experience or are at a different stage but not fully there?
Yeah.
And you can
Yeah. Nishta, like this is, we want to get to the least Nishta stage. That means we're fixed. We're not going to fall away, no matter what happens. That means most of your anarthas are destroyed at that point. And once you get fixed in Nishta, then the next stage is Ruchi. Ruchi is sweetness, type of happiness that becomes continuous in the life of the devotee. So yeah, and then we will recommend you read Spontaneous Devotional Service or The Further Awakening of Spontaneous Devotional Service by Shivaram Maharaj, who's given us the whole formula on how we can take those more developed stages, such as Ruchi and Ashakti, and then ultimately come to the stage of Prema. And that's a process. Lord Chaitanya came to teach that process. He didn't come to teach Vaidhi Bhakti. He came to teach Raganuga Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti is always there. You have to traverse the path of Vaidhi until you get to Raganuga. You have to know what stage you're on, at least, so you know how to get to the next stage. Most of us are fighting with anartha nivritti until we get 75% free of them are anarthas. Then we have work on the anarthas. What are the anarthas? They're mentioned. Try to eliminate them by not giving them any attention or focus, and continue in your chanting. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says Harinam Sankirtan crushes anarthas. So we should be doing Harinam Sankirtan regularly, chanting and dancing. Not only during festivals or on Sunday, every day. Right, Bala? You like to dance.
Absolutely true, Maharaj. That is the single highlight for me. If I could do just that, I'd be very happy doing it all day.
Can organize everybody and get them to dance.
Yes. I will try that, Maharaj.
It'll work. Anything spiritual, if you plan it, you'll get the support of the spirit of the Supreme Lord.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Maharaj, we have a question on chat by Advaita Prabhu. He's asking, Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for your wonderful class. You mentioned how Jiva is a sample of God. I personally find it difficult to tune in with that spiritual nature within me. How can one experience their spiritual nature constantly? The material covering seems so thick that it seems impossible to experience it.
That's the process. As you get rid of the material coverings, your spiritual nature comes to the forefront. You can't just keep the material coverings and go to your spiritual nature. It's not possible. You have to remove these coverings. The whole process of bhakti is to bring out what is already there, and not to bring in something new. It's already, everyone is a pure lover of Krishna. It's nature. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Saro Kabunoi Sravanadi Siddhi Chitte Koriye Udoy. In the hearts of all living entities, pure love for Krishna exists. It's there. Bring it out. But how are you going to bring it out? If you're inside of a cave and you say there's no sun, well, get out of the cave. So get rid of those coverings: lust, anger, greed, illusion, pride, fear, anger, envy. These are the coverings. And if you want to get it, and you want the fast track, just chant and dance all day. You'll get there. But we won't do that because we think, we got so many things to do. At least every day in your house, if you're living at home, bring your family, friends, invite some people over and have kirtan and have some prasadam, discuss some philosophy. Don't let one day go by without chanting and discussing philosophy. Every day should be like that.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Pavani and Bhagyashree Mataji.
The Bhakti Tirtha Swami, they would ask him the question. And the question about the two dogs. Two dogs are fighting, the good dog and the bad dog. So both dogs are equally powerful. So which dog is going to win? What's the answer, Sri Devi?
The one you feed the most.
Jai. So feed your spiritual life and stop feeding your anarthas. That's all.
Thank you, Maharaj. Yeah, Mataji, please go ahead, Bhagyashree Mataji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and you. Maharaj, I had a question. At the time of death, do we have to say the name of the Lord aloud, or even by just remembering Him, we can attain Him?
Do we have to do what?
At the time of death, do we have to remember and say the name of the Lord, or if we just remember Him, we can attain Him?
You can remember him, but the mind has to be completely absorbed in remembering him. When you bring in the sound vibration of his name, then that helps you with remembering also. Whatever helps, yeah. But there are those who they go into a certain spiritual trance at the time of death, and then they're with, even before they leave, they're with Krishna. Mm-hmm. That's possible. Yeah, you can do that, but I would recommend chanting for.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Pavni. How are you?
I'm doing great by your blessings, Maharaj.
Okay. I think it's the blessings of your mother.
All grace to you, Maharaj.
Sri Devi.
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Guru Maharaj, I have one more question regarding giving people spiritual knowledge. In Bhagavad Gita 13, 8 to 12, Srila Prabhupada clearly says, unless one elevates people to spiritual knowledge, one is practicing violence. One should try his best to distribute real knowledge so that they may become enlightened and leave this material entanglement. So my question is this, Guru Maharaj. As devotees, we want to give this spiritual knowledge to help people. But does it mean that we should wait to see if they are receptive and then only give it? Or we should give it regardless because it will help them if they hear?
We do it. We do it in groups. We have Harinam, we have programs, we go out, we do seminars, we write books, we write articles, we do audio classes. I mean, there's a whole gamut of ways that we are trying to attract people to Krishna consciousness. And if you want to take it, when you're out there on the streets, carry some mantra cards with you. You meet someone, give them a mantra card, say, here, this will get rid of all of your stress, it'll make you happy. Here, chant.
I do that, Guru Maharaj. Whenever I travel, I carry stuff, give it to people. I find it easy to talk to those people. I'm talking about relatives. I'm talking about those people who are in touch with us somehow or the other, who have no idea about spiritual life. Should we try?
Forget about your relatives. They're a waste of time.
Okay. All right.
They see you the way they want to see you, as simply some relationship. They don't take you seriously. It says you have to go where people are ready to hear, not where people are closed off.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for reminding me.
The relatives will come anyway, simply by your own power of your devotion to get some mercy. It says that a preacher is least appreciated in his hometown. You've heard that before? Yeah.
They think I'm a loser, poor thing, she's not doing anything, such a waste of her life, etc., etc.
Yeah. That's why if you keep traveling, it's good, because you meet new people, more opportunities for preaching. You stay in one place, you need to set up a program. Like it says in Bhagavatam, every householder should have regular programs, invite people to come and invite speakers to come, discuss Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, have kirtan, and also distribute prasadam. Anyone can do that.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much.
It is like, for instance, we say sometimes we're giving a class to a whole congregation, so there's many families there. So we tell them, each family should pick one day of the month and give a home program on that day. And if there's more than 30 families, that means every day of the month in that particular yatra, there is a home program going on. So that's the duty of grihastas, not just to live in their house, but to use their home for inviting others and teaching them Krishna consciousness. Somehow do it.
Thank you, Maharaj. Yeah, even I face the same, like my sister and my friends, they think that I'm not doing anything in my life. I'm just simply wasting my energy and everything. So, yeah.
They'll wake up at one point in life, so don't worry about them.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah.
But they can see, they won't admit it, but they can see that you've become happier. That they can see. But
That's what I
they won't admit it because they don't want to admit that they're wrong.
thank you, Maharaj. So, Revati Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all assembled devotees. Guru Maharaj, my question is about unconscious thoughts, as you have mentioned that which we store from previous lives. I feel like unconscious thoughts are very deeper. So during initiation, because we suffer because of our thoughts, right? So during initiation, those thoughts will reduce, or how? Like,
If you follow, yeah. If you're practicing devotional service, then the results of your previous karma, both subtle and gross, will gradually dissipate and become less. Well, you have to be careful of your association also. Even if you're a devotee, if you take the association of non-devotees, then you're feeding negative thoughts again.
yes, yeah. Yeah, so it's a constant battle, as you said, like, three modes. We need to be very alert every moment, like, with what kind of thought we are associating. So it's, as you said, it's very important for us to hear and chant. No hearing and chanting, I can see myself, I easily, like, get disturbed and fall down. So hearing is very helpful to me. Yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah, keep going. You're bringing your whole family to Krishna consciousness. It's good.
Yes,
Pretty
good.
soon, yeah, the whole family is now going to be together doing Krishna conscious activities.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, that is really helping me, and association is really helping me. Like my kids, just by associating with the devotees.
Even your
they're getting
husband is
that.
coming now.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Yeah, please give your blessings. It's all your mercy. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Remain serious, keep going, and just keep dragging them along.
Yeah, I really need your blessings for that. Yeah, all your mercy.
My full best wishes, blessings, or whatever I can give you in order for you to continue to inspire, especially your family and people around you. You've done so much, but keep going. Don't stop.
Yes,
It
Guru Maharaj.
gets better and better.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj. Yeah, thank you. I'm just surviving on your mercy. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Well,
Revati Mataji is very inspiring, Guru Maharaj.
yeah,
We have a,
she's passing everybody up.
yeah,
I don't have any intelligence, Guru Maharaj. It's all your intelligence, all your mercy. I don't have material knowledge also properly. Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
we have a Silpesh Prabhu. Before going to you, I'll take this question. Anna Mataji, she is asking, Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, thank you for the class. I feel very lost in the material entanglements. How can we maintain a healthy spiritual life?
Where are you living? Who asked the question?
Anna,
She's in the UK, Guru Maharaj. Anahita.
Anahita.
Hi,
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. We are in the countryside at the moment, Cebu, Hedingham.
Got some cows?
I wish. Well, our garden's not big enough.
Get a cow. Get at least one cow.
Okay, I'll tell John.
Cows bring auspiciousness. Take care of cow, and yeah. If you're in the countryside, you should have a cow. At least one.
Okay, I'll make it my mission.
You can do it. You just have to do a little work. get a nice young cow and take care of her, and then you'll be living in a more natural environment. You can grow your own food.
We tried to do that this year, but it didn't take because of the weather. But yeah, we're trying. So
UK is not noted for its farms.
yeah.
The only thing they grow there is potatoes, and what else? That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, we grew up on potatoes because my dad's Irish and my mum's Italian, so it was potatoes and pasta.
That's a killer.
No.
So many carbs, my God. Where's the protein?
Yeah. Our diet wasn't great. Trying to grow up as a vegetarian in the UK at like the 90s is quite difficult. Especially in the UK.
Prabhupada said, let's see, Prabhupada said, the body requires grains and milk products. He said fruits and vegetables are extra. But from a health perspective, we need food that produces fat and protein, not so much carbohydrates. If you have a high carb diet, you better be working hard. Otherwise, that can turn into diabetes or maybe even cause complications in the body. High carb diet means out there working, burning it off. You got to burn those off. You don't burn them off. But most of us sit in front of the computer and we're eating pasta. That's like, it's a formula for disease.
John's here. He would like to say hello. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, well, Maharaj.
Who's talking?
Oh, I'll put John on the camera.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Is that John? That's John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're waiting for your first dramatic performance, Martin.
I know. I'm so sorry that we couldn't make it to Italy.
You can come next year. We're going to France next year.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Get a good, dramatic performance. Put it together. The devotees would really appreciate it.
Okay. Okay. We'll do.
I think you can do it. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Include a few other people in the performance, so it becomes more like a sangha.
Okay. All right.
We have a whole family of actors, so
yeah, sure.
We
know some writers as well, so we can get people together.
Good. Yeah, we look forward.
Okay.
I wanted that very much. He said this drama, these Krishna conscious plays, he said these are better than my books, he said.
Wow, okay. Okay. Better take it seriously then.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and thanks for the opportunity to do it. And I'm really so sorry that we couldn't make it to Italy as well. It's it really played on my mind actually, and I was pretty bummed out by it that I couldn't do it. So yeah.
Good.
So we'll try to make it up to you.
Please the devotees.
Sure. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity.
Count me in for the Joker's role.
You already got that role. What do you mean?
I'll just continue playing it then, Guru Maharaj.
So Pesh.
Yeah.
Maharaj, I just wanted to ask a bit about past lives, as you brought it up today. Krishna makes us forget our past lives, because obviously we couldn't probably handle what we've done in our past lives or where we've been. But I know in my early years of my Krishna consciousness, some devotees were telling me to have a past life regression, if you've got like unexplained health problems and so forth. But I was very reluctant because I thought that could be re-traumatizing. And sorry, Maharaj?
There's a good chance it will be.
Yeah. And so I was thinking, if you're on the path of devotional service, I mean, Krishna's taking care of all your karmas and past life in one way, isn't he? Along that journey.
Life means to focus on the moment you're in. Every moment is a valuable moment for making progress. Karmis go back into the past and lament about what didn't happen or what could have happened or what did happen. The karmis go into the future planning on how they're going to be happy, and they fail to live in the present. Devotees live in the present. The present is the only reality. Forget the past that sleeps, near the future dream it all. Act in times with thee, and progress ye shall call. Forget the past that sleeps, near the future dream it all. Act in times that are with thee, and progress ye shall call. That's part of a poem by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Liquid Forms, it's called. Yeah, so,
Just keep chanting.
And serving.
And serving. Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay, Haribol. Balaram and Tanya. Hare Krishna. I have to check with Avaduta to see if he can comply with your request. It's not up to me. But as soon as I find out, which will be today sometime, I'll give you the answer. What should be okay. I think it should work, but I still have to ask him because he's the one that's arranging everything.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare. Okay.
1.5 hours into our class, so can we stop here today?
I hope so.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Such a wonderful class and nice question answer discussion. I just want to announce for tomorrow's class. Is it with Harrisburg? It is with the Harrisburg devotees. And the verse number is 2nd canto, 2nd chapter, verse number 35.
I'm going to be traveling tomorrow. If I get to my destination in time for the class, yes, I don't really know. So it's still iffy for tomorrow.
Yes, Maharaj, yeah. I'll inform Swami Mataji to keep a backup.
Okay, I should be able to make it by the mercy of Balaram and Tanya. Should be able to get there. Get your internet going over. You got internet there, I hope. Okay. It's 50 miles shorter than my destination, right?
Yes, about 50. About 50 kilometers. Yeah.
Okay, that means there's a good chance I'll make it in time.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaj ki jai.
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 Maharaj, Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much,
Please
Maharaj.
accept
Hare
my
Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you
so
for
much,
the
Maharaj.
class.
Class.
Dandavad
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna, Maharaj.
Thank you,
Dandavad Pranam.
Maharaj.
Hare